You have here a real mixture of cultures, and in fact a result of an expeditionary force to Cambodia that heard some great music which inspired the creation of a band that you are about to see. I think they are a wonderful band. If you want to get sick, and by that I mean very sick, what you want is the fever, dengue fever.
Hi, we are DengueFever. My name is Cham Nimol. I'm a singer from DengueFever.
Hi, my name's Sinan. I'm the bass player of DengueFever.
Hi, I'm Ethan. I play keyboard.
I'm Zach. I play guitar.
My brother and I, we grew up in Topanga Canyon, which is a really nice area, the Santa Monica Mountains in California, near Los Angeles. And then Zach met Sinan up in college in Humboldt State, Northern California, and we started playing music around 2001, 2002. We met Cham Nimol at the Dragon House in Long Beach. It's like a Cambodian Chinese restaurant where there's live music, and we went in there looking for a singer, and that's where we first met.
Ethan was traveling in Cambodia and was started to listen to these cassettes of old artists, Cambodian artists from the 60s and 70s. And when we started hanging out and playing music again together, we kind of kicked around the idea how crazy it would be to maybe go look for a singer and learn some of these songs.
When we first began as a band, it was just mainly for one show was like the idea, and just like, let's get it together to play this show, and then that show never happened. But the first show that did happen was at a small club in Los Angeles called Spaceland, which is a very cool club. A lot of great bands go through there. And we knew from the very first performance, when a bunch of indie rock kids were dancing madly to our music, that we had something that was a little bit different from the scene that was going on. You know, usually at a club in LA, there's a lot of people, or at a rock club, a lot of people just moving their heads back and forth. But this very first show we played, we all, and with Nimol, had the whole crowd just bobbing up and down. There was a guy rolling across the stage. Mm-hmm. So we kind of knew, at least I knew at that moment, that it was more than just like a little novelty or a little fun idea, that it was really something serious that I think we all knew that we'd want to pursue for a long time.
The first day I meet Zach and Ethan, so I think like, what are you doing? It's like crazy people, something like that.
She didn't really trust us at first, and she would show up to rehearsal with about 12 of her friends.
Yeah.
You only call me when you're drunk. I can tell by your voice. It's the only time that you open up to me and tell me that you love me. The first thing that I do is wrap my arms around you and never let go.
Initially, when we first started playing, we were playing a lot of cover songs from a body of music that was created in Cambodia in the 60s and early 70s. And the Cambodian musicians were influenced by music that was coming from the radio that was during the Vietnam War. And so a lot of US soldiers were over there listening to psychedelic music. And so the Cambodians took this music and mixed it with their own traditional music to kind of create a Cambodian psychedelic rock. And so that's the music that that Ethan was inspired by, and Zach, and I first heard when I went to Cambodia in 1995. But the whole idea from the beginning was to use this music as an influence and kind of a blueprint.
Some of the sounds that were unique for the 60s Cambodian rock was like the Farfisa organ. That's what I started with, because that was kind of the tone that they used, and it's a great instrument. It's from Italy. It's a compact organ, and so we picked up one of those. And Zach's guitar tones were kind of went for the surf, garage rock, wah wah, delays. So we Yeah, it was kind of a good thing about the music that inspired us was that we didn't really have to restrict ourselves. We could really, experiment with sounds.
We just bring everything we got when we're making up songs.
Which is great here because there's a lot of different instruments and rooms we can pull from, so we're really getting some different sounds. I was playing out of a Prophet 5 synthesizer. I think it's Peter's, and it's got some really good knobs on there. It's fun.
When we record, we like to record onto tape. Like on our last album, we used a Studer machine, laid it down on 2-inch tape, and it makes the bass and the drums sound super fat. And then we always end up mixing it down on Pro Tools, so it eventually goes through the digital filter.
I think visual and audio are very similar mediums in ways, and especially digitally, because I see a lot of people at concerts like taking pictures of the band with their cell phone and then taking pictures of each other with their cell phone, and all I think about is that the world's being recorded in this really crappy quality. Like whoever takes a cell phone picture and prints it onto a nice piece of paper and looks at it on the wall and says, "Oh, what a beautiful photograph," And I think a lot of times that's happening with audio as well.
Yeah, at home I usually only listen to wax cylinders. It's the best.